Hello everyone, welcome back to another Sleepyhead movie review, and today it's the time to review John Wick Chapter 3. John Wick Chapter 3 is a third edition in the John Wick series and it continues from where John Wick Chapter 2 had ended. Fair warning, spoilers ahead. A lot of spoilers. Trust me. If you have seen my Avengers Endgame review, this is on similar lines, so you might brace yourself for a lot of spoilers. So, if you intend to watch John Wick Chapter 3, I would suggest you refresh on watching John Wick Chapter 2 because there's a lot of references to the previous movie. And John Wick Chapter 3, the movie starts where the Chapter 2 had ended. John is fleeing, trying to fight a safe house within an hour because he's being declared as excommunicado and there will be a massive bounty on his head, and everyone on the planet is after that bounty. So he and his dog are trying to find a safe place, but it's a little tough for him, and he runs out of time of the 1 hour and is now under threat to die because he broke a rule of the High Table, the society that governs the assassins across the world. Now, people who have helped him break the rule are also under the fire. It may be the manager of Continental, Winston, or the king who has given him the guns. There is an adjudicator from the High Table who is coming to announce the sentences to the respective people. That's one part of the movie. John Wick, as you know, if you have seen the movies, is a massive entity to deal with. Anybody coming in his way eventually gets killed. So, what he does, sends his dog to the Continental and he is on a path to escape. What happens is, first he tries to find a safe place, doesn't happen. Next, he goes to the Russians seeking what they owed him. The Russians are a little skeptical because the time has run out. He's now declared as an excommunicado, and any kind of service or help given to him is classified as helping him, and the person or the entity which helps him eventually gets the death order. But the Russians, because of, well, they owe something to him, and he is now in Casablanca, Morocco, where he tries to get a meeting with the elders. Now the elders are above the High Table, and the elders have all the right and all the authority to do whatever they want without being summoned by the High Table. It's not easy to beat the elders is what John Wick knows, and he's being repeatedly told about. But eventually the elders do get to meet John Wick. There's a price to pay to meet the elders. There's a challenge before anything can be done with respect to John Wick's sanctions. Now, there's a task that John Wick has to complete before the elders take any decision, which, well, I won't talk about it. He comes back to New York, goes about to finish the task, but he doesn't. Any failed mission or incomplete mission has its own consequences. The adjudicator, who I talked about earlier, who's coming after the Continental own management and the other people who have helped them, now sends a task force to get rid of John Wick because, there's a bounty on his head. But it's John Wick. He's not going down that easy. Lot of fight, lot of gunshots, a lot of bloodshed. Yes, this is an 18 plus movie and it's rated R in the Americas. So you can expect a lot of bloodshed, a lot of blood splashing on the screen, and too many of gunshots. If you're not into those kind of movies, do not watch this. Coming back to the movie, again the fight keeps on happening, more fights, action, gunshot. Yeah, I can go on and on because it's basically that thing in the second half of the movie. Uh, and then what happens is that the task force eventually reduces in number and John Wick escapes. Yes, he's John Wick. He doesn't die that easily. Uh, the management of the Continental New York uh, gets a deal with the high table, and the management says nothing else happens. But this is almost the end of the movie, and it ends on a cliffhanger where John Wick ends up at a place, and there's a lot to be done. The bounty is still on his head. The task is not completed. The task of getting rid of John Wick, incomplete. The task given to John Wick by the elders, incomplete. The story, incomplete. John Wick 3, the movie is complete. A lot of ifs, buts, what happens next? John Wick 4 possibly has all the answers. Now the again wait continues, because if you want peace, prepare for war. And now the war is against time for us to wait for the next movie in this series, because where it ended in John Wick 2, it's a similar feeling in John Wick 3. In John Wick 2, he was fleeing to safety, but in John Wick 3, he fled for something else, which we'll know possibly in the next movie. So, just like the movie, this review ends here. Until next time, as all you know, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this video on your social medias, follow my social media handles on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Well, until next review or John Wick movie releases, whatever it is, stay sleepy, and yes,